Spring season is upon us. I know all the eyes are on big-time continuations like a new Demon Slayer, Mushoku Tensei, and My Hero Academia coming our way. Oh, Konosuba is making its big return after a pretty good half-decade. There's also going to be a new Mahoka for those still keeping up. But today's list will cover none of those sequels. As the title suggests, we'll shine the spotlight on the new anime that will be making its much-awaited debut this spring. Which of these upcoming titles will capture the hearts and imaginations of anime fans wanting to start their journey on a new series? Let's take a look at what I think are the top 10 shows to look out for.
私んちスパイなの。
Spy! We start things off in Fantasyland with Unnamed Memory. There are quite a few anime that create this indescribable, nostalgic feeling. I'm sure a medieval setting about a prince scaling a castle to break a curse related to love evokes some memories of classical fairy tales for some. Upon encountering the witch atop the tower, however, Oscar gets a much better idea, taking the witch Thinasha as his wife. With her being as strong as she is, surely, she'd be able to survive the curse and get to the bottom of it, right? However, things aren't the way they seem, and dark secrets begin resurfacing. How about a nostalgic tale with a nifty twist? Unnamed Memory takes a classical setting and gives it some spice, and it's got a bit of everything you'd want from a story like this. Romance takes center stage, the politics and world building, well, it's all there too. Most importantly, a detailed magic system and some exciting battles, you've got it. A pretty good start for our preview of the season, don't you think?
であなたより先には死なない。絶対です。
For number 9, let's take a look at Bartender.
世の中には絶対にお客様を裏切ってはいけない仕事が2つあります。1つは医師・薬剤師。もう1つは
Quite an unassuming title, one very fitting considering what it's all about. It's an anime, a remake of a pretty old anime from 2006 that's all about Eden Hall and its bartender, the prodigious Ryu Sasakura. Eden Hall is where people of various backgrounds find solace, where they go to unload their burdens while the master bartender prepares the perfect cocktails for each customer. I gotta say, the title and the simplicity of it all is just genius, because in a lot of ways it's a very honest reflection of the anime. It's a calming slice of life where much of the enjoyment comes from our protagonist and his encounters with distraught souls, weary minds that he tries his best to understand. It's a very character-oriented work that kind of evokes a bit of Death Parade in me. If you like the latter, then you're definitely going to want to check this one out.
カウンターの前のお客様にとってぴったりの一杯を飲んでもらいたい。
We then have Mysterious Disappearances at number 8.
ここから導き出される結論は一つしかないじゃないか。どうして？
Mysterious Disappearances also has a simple title. It's also kind of easy to guess what this anime is about, and for the most part you'd be correct. It's a foray into the supernatural, a mystery series starring a mismatched duo. The burnt-out writer accidentally activates a curse that sends her back to her young self, but before consequences start to truly take hold, she gets saved by a mysterious person. Together they start taking on mysteries involving urban legends and the supernatural. Strange, supernatural occurrences and a seemingly intended focus on fan service makes me think this is looking to find a niche similar to Monogatari. With how well this has been regarded, I do think the anime fanbase is quite ripe for another go at this genre. Whether it'll be a great adaptation is something that we're going to have to wait and see. Stay tuned this spring to find out. 7th is Re-Monster. And here we have yet another reincarnation story. These have been decently popular as far as I can remember since isekai started taking off, and our star this time is a guy reincarnated into Goburo, the weakest goblin. However, hope isn't lost for him in this tough world where only the strong survive. After all, Goburo has a trump card already, his memories from the past, as well as an uncanny ability to gain stronger based on eating. Reincarnation series seem to often follow the weak to strong trend, and Re-Monster looks to be providing more of the same. There's just something really appealing to these kinds of tales as far as a lot of anime fans are concerned, and those who enjoy anime in this genre will have a treat to look forward to in the spring. It can be quite enjoyable, but it's something that truly shines under the right lens and if you're in its target demographic.
楽しみだな。どんな味がするのか。な。
Buckle up, cause Viral Hit is looking like a big hit. It's one of those anime where the main character starts out as a weakling, but guess what? He becomes a total badass. The main character starts out weaker than a wet noodle. Seriously, he couldn't win a fight against a toddler. But guess what? He gets a chance to change everything and undergoes this insane training arc. We're talking from shrimp to superhero in record time. It's super inspiring, like a real-life Rocky story with anime superpowers. Remember Lookism? Well, it's from the same creator, so you know the story's gonna be wild and you'll probably be quoting lines by the end of it. If you love underdog stories, mind-blowing fight scenes, and anime that pushes the limits, then Viral Hit is a must-watch. It's gonna be a knockout for sure. Anything caught your eye with the list yet? Well, do help the video do well by hitting that like button up there. It takes just a few seconds and it's going to do so much for the YouTube algorithm. Alright, let's get back to the list. Let's restart our countdown now with The Fable.
で、次はいつ頃？
いや、しばらくは仕事は取らん。今年はやりすぎた。
The Fable. A hitman so good at his job as a hired assassin that his boss tells him to call it quits and start a new life as an ordinary citizen. Take a break from the killing and the conspiracies and start living a normal life with a pretend sibling. What could possibly go wrong? Everything apparently, as a single kill during this break will result in drastic consequences for the both of them. A comedy with a fish out of water type of narrative can be a whole lot of fun. There's a lot of potential in something like this. I'm positive there's a lot of laughs with how the anime is structured, and it seems to be one of those shows that can quickly shift gears into a more serious and dramatic atmosphere should it need to. And given how these kinds of shows often go, I wouldn't be surprised if we started off with light-hearted hijinks before ending its run with some major emotional stakes. Fourth on the list is Windbreaker.
強いやつは俺を見つけるように。俺は風林高校桜遥だ。
With what seemed like a revival of the delinquent genre quite recently, there's one pattern I've been noticing. A lot of times, these rough and tough youth are depicted as jerks with a heart of gold as we delve deeper into their stories. A pure heart underneath all that roughness, and that's accurate for most of Furin High School's population. Haruka wants none of that crap, however. He has no time nor interest for weaklings, and all he cares for is his road to becoming the strongest. He'll crush anyone standing in his way. Windbreaker is quite the thrilling ride for an action series. It's got some great fights that will surely look even better in anime form. Adding that with the character stories that intertwine with the emotionally charged battles, and you've got a promising up-and-comer in the action anime lineup.
強いやつも結構いるみたいだし、そんな中で一番になれたら満足できそうだから。
Spice and Wolf opens up our countdown to the top 3. Spice and Wolf isn't a new anime technically speaking, however this is a remake to a pretty good classic, so I guess that counts. A Spice and Wolf remake isn't something I expected a while back, but it's a very welcome addition to the seasonal lineup. After all, the original version had a lot going for it and it's truly one of the more unique experiences that I had watching a fantasy show back in my youth. What makes it unique, you might be asking? Well, it's the focus on dialogue and economics. While most fantasy stories tend to tell of epic adventures or legendary fights to remember, Spice and Wolf decided to focus on the side of fantasy anime that may seem to be more mundane. I'm talking about the world building, the trading and dialogue, and character growth revolving around our two leads. It certainly gives Spice and Wolf a unique place amongst the many light novels of the era, and I can't wait for newer gen anime fans to experience the magic that we fans did back then. At number 2, here's Mission Yozakura Family.
俺はな、影から睦美のことをずっと見守り続けてきたんだ。
Is it just me, or has the spy or secret agent genre become more popular over the past 2 years or so? It's pretty noticeable from a personal perspective when people from the previous decade only really had Princess Principal as the relatively big title in the genre, and even that's quite niche in the bigger scope of things. Meanwhile, the 2020s already had things like Licorice Recoil and Spy Family. The genre looks to continue its momentum with a hot start in 2024. Mission Yozakura Family tells of antisocial Tayo, who finds out that his one and only friend Mutsumi actually belonged to a family of spies. The two's interaction is a no-no, especially for Mutsumi's overprotective brother, to the point where there's only one solution for Tayo's problems. He has to marry himself into the family, delving into the world of spies. A world full of secrets and intrigue, especially in this new family he finds himself a member of. Mission Yozakura Family looks to recapture the magic of Spy Family with its similarly light-hearted tone that blends well with a really interesting group of characters, all who are filled with mysteries underneath. It can go quite hard with the shonen powers, and that's something that's bound to be fun to watch.
必ず睦美を守ってみせる。
Lastly, we have Gaiju number 8 finishing the list.
見つけた。
帰ろ。え
In an all-out war against kaiju, people have their roles to play. Some take the fight to the monsters, while others are relegated to cleaning things up once the action's over. That's not to say that everyone's satisfied with this assignment. Notably, Gafgar can only dream of battling monsters on the front lines. He soon gets his wish after an encounter with a parasitic kaiju and a resulting transformation. After the dust clears, is the dream something that he'll end up regretting all along? Kaiju number 8 is probably one of the most anticipated anime scheduled to come out in spring. Even if we count sequels into the mix, actually. Kaiju number 8 has been garnering much popularity over the years, and a lot of it has to do with the plot structure and how it subverts the usual shonen tropes. The whole dynamic with the untrustworthy human allies adds to the intrigue. We've seen quite a lot of human versus monster stories that feature a protagonist trapped between the two sides, but it's this special aspect of it along with the cool battles that make this one of the shows to watch out for. And that just about wraps up the top 10 most anticipated new anime for this spring season. Don't hesitate to throw in some thoughts and tell me about other shows that you're really looking forward to. I'd love to see what your top 10 looks like. As we wrap up the video, I thank you all for watching and I hope you had some fun. If you found something to pick up thanks to this list, then I'll be very happy. Here's to a great spring season and I'll see you again in the next video.